Welcome to another speedrun of Hollow Knight, where the goal of today is a little bit unique. Just like Eat Me 2%, which I have the world record for, the goal of this one is to die, but not in the same way. See, this is inspired by July 4th, and if you're anything like me who lives in America, you know that July 4th is filled with fireworks and hot dogs and burgers and other things. But we're gonna focus on fireworks today. Very interesting improv intro, but whatever. Alright. Alright, to explain a little bit about today's speedrun. Firstly and foremost, you might notice that the top left corner, the HUD looks slightly different from your average speedrun of Hollow Knight. And that's because I am purposely doing this on Steel Soul mode, because the goal of this speedrun is to die by a firework. Or in other words, an explosion. And so you really do need a soul of steel in order to actually, do that. So I decided, let's just make it mandatory that this speedrun, this meme category speedrun that I've created, requires you to be on Steel Soul mode. But obviously, I'm going to explain a little bit more, as I go through this run, just exactly what this speedrun entails and what's going on. So first, you might notice, I have done this speedrun before. I just want a good time. I feel like 7:46, the current time right there, is not good. So I'm going to do this again. But to explain a little bit, we need to make an explosion. And it's that simple. And the goal is to die. And at first, you might think, well then, how do you do that? And I think, at least I'm pretty sure, there's only 6 different ways that you can actually cause an explosion in this game. And you might be thinking like, well, I know for a fact that some of these are enemies, and you'd be right. The first 3 enemies that you might be thinking of are the Sporg, the enemy that commonly is used for speedrunning, for ePogo. And then there's the Bellfly, which is also very common. It's in the City of Tears, it's the exploding bird. It's the bird it's that stupid bird that Gigi hates, if that helps. And then we have the, what are they called? The Umas. Those are the exploding jellyfish. And those are usually the ones that catch people off guard the most. Because at least with the Bellfly, you can kind of avoid them and you see, like, oh, they explode. Good to know. And then the Sporgs, those are usually also a little bit of a trial and error. You see it and you hit it and you explode. But there's also a couple other ways you can cause explosions. One such way is actually the exploding eggs in the Fog Canyon anyways, so I guess Fog Canyon has 2 different ways you can explode. And the other 2 ways, because remember I said 6, the other 2 ways are actually things that most people do not remember at all. Those other 2 ways are actually Zote affiliated. So while technically, yes, there is different ways you can cause an explosion, 2 of them are way, way too long. So if you recount your Zote lore, I suppose, you'll remember that Zote actually has many, many different forms. One of which are like the Zote volatiles, or like in the Eternal Ordeal. That's where you can find most of those Zote forms. Please be time save. I don't think so. We're probably gonna get time gain. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, so in order to actually get to them, you have to do the Eternal Ordeal, which is only in Godhome. And so basically all that means is, in order to actually get those explosions, either you use a Godhome file, or you have to get to Godhome. And that takes a very, very long time. So most definitely we are not doing that one. There we go. So here is the thing. Obviously this is a speedrun, and the goal is to cause an explosion. So you might be thinking, what is the fastest way, if not those 2 Zote ways? And it kind of comes down to only one of these. Because out of the 3 enemies that I've listed before, the Sporg, the Bellfly, and the Uma, only one of these is actually close enough that, you can probably turn it into a speedrun of that kind. And judging by live split, which is right above me, you can probably guess which one it is. And if you can't, well, that's okay. Don't feel bad. The one that we are going to be going for is the Uma. And yes, we are going to be going through a couple of places in order to get there. A lovely gold split along the way. But here is the nice thing about, the direction of which we are going. You don't have to do as much. If you remember, there's a silly little speedrun called Aluba Percent. And in Aluba Percent, the run basically ends right after the Hornet fight. You kill an Aluba, which is this thing that you see on screen right now. But, it's not bad. This run is equally as short. If anything, it's slightly shorter. There we go. So we're going to be going to Fog Canyon, and we're going to be dying via an Uma. And that's really the whole goal of this speedrun. To get there as fast as possible, witness a firework, and die. That's really about it. But this is definitely one of the faster speedruns. This might be the third fastest speedrun that I know of to date. Because, well, the only two speedruns that are faster than this one is probably Aluba Percent and Menderbug Percent. Aluba Percent is roughly 8 minutes, so this one's a little bit faster than that. And Menderbug Percent can be as fast as 2 minutes. It kind of depends. Oh, he wasn't in position. Sad. He's in position now. Okay. This will definitely be a sub 730. Because now, it's time to die. There it is. And we've caused fireworks. And that is the whole run of Fireworks Percent. Cause an explosion, die to said explosion, and that's it. The only rule is that you have to be on Steel Soul mode. And the time of 7:31. I think that's pretty good. I gained a little bit of time because I messed up at False Night, but whatever. This was a dumb little speedrun I just decided to do for 4th of July. I hope you enjoy your 4th of July. Unless you're, don't celebrate it, in which case, that's okay. I do hope you eat some good food, get some good rest, at the very least. If you're watching this on July 4th, nice. Please, like, I say this with all seriousness. Please, stay safe. Don't do anything stupid. But still enjoy, and have a good time. Anyways, I have been Facade. I hope you have a good rest of your day, or your night, depending on when you're watching this. I will see you in the next one. Good night.